A spiritual awakening can feel like a major turning point, almost as if you're waking up to a new understanding of who you are and how the world works. It isn't a neat, straight line. It's more like a spiral. You may revisit certain phases, move through them in a different order, or skip some entirely. While each person's journey is unique, there are several common stages many people experience. Here is a clear and simplified look of 5 of those stages and clues that may help you see where you are. Stage 1. Living from the ego. In the first stage, a person is largely identified with the ego, the inner voice, and emotional reactions that run on autopilot. Thoughts and feelings feel like who I am rather than experiences happening within you. Because there's little space between awareness and reaction, life can feel like it's controlling you instead of the other way around. In this state, it's common to be defensive, quick to anger, or stuck in negativity, especially when stress or past pain is involved. Challenges may reinforce the belief that you don't have real influence over your circumstances. Your personal story becomes the main lens you see everything through, so it can be difficult to truly understand others without filtering them through your own assumptions and projections. This stage is the starting point. The awakening begins when you notice these patterns and sense that there's something deeper to explore. Stage 2. Ego Death. As the journey deepens, many people encounter what's often called ego death. This isn't a physical death, it's the breakdown of the identity you've built and defended. Labels and roles, age, status, beliefs, background, and the stories you've used to define yourself begin to loosen. During this phase, long-held ideas about life, spirituality, and even God may feel like they've been wiped clean. That can bring a temporary emptiness or disorientation. But it also creates inner space. You begin to recognize an observer within you, the awareness that can witness thoughts, emotions, and experiences without being consumed by them. You start to understand that the ego is a construct shaped by conditioning and experience, not your deepest self. Stage 3. The search. After ego death, people often move into a phase of seeking. You want answers, and not just intellectually. You begin asking big questions. Why am I here? What is the purpose of my life? What is truth? What is the nature of reality, the soul, or God? This is when many dive into books, teachings, talks, and spiritual communities. Practices like meditation, prayer, contemplation, journaling, or other inner work become more important. The search is fueled by a genuine longing to understand and to connect with something greater. When a teaching resonates, it can feel like relief, like pieces of your experience finally make sense. Stage 4. The authentic self emerges. At a certain point, the mask you've worn to fit in becomes harder to maintain. Pretending feels heavy. You begin to notice what does and doesn't align with your true nature, and you may feel compelled to stop living for approval or expectations that no longer match who you're becoming. This stage often resembles a return to the sincerity of childhood before social conditioning shaped your identity. Relationships, jobs, routines, or environments that feel misaligned may start to fall away. That can bring major life changes and a sense of upheaval because old energy is being released to make room for new. Inner transformation can be intense here. Old wounds and unresolved emotions may surface so they can be acknowledged and healed. Many people describe emotional ups and downs, as well as heightened intuition, vivid or lucid dreams, strong knowing, or other unusual experiences as their awareness expands. Stage 5. Living in alignment. In the final stage, the focus shifts from seeking to living. Alignment means your inner world and outer life begin to match. You learn to relate to yourself, mind, body, and soul with compassion. Instead of fighting your imperfections, you accept them with kindness and forgiveness. That self-compassion naturally extends outward. Because you're more grounded in your authentic self, you can hold more understanding for others and recognize that everyone is doing the best they can with their current level of awareness. You become the supportive inner parent you may have needed earlier in life, building a foundation of unconditional self-love. Alignment also expands beyond human relationships into a lived sense of interconnectedness with nature, animals, the earth, and the wider web of life. You can acknowledge beauty and light while also recognizing darker aspects of existence without becoming cynical, seeing both as part of the full human experience. If these ideas resonate, consider sharing them with someone who might benefit. And if you'd like, reflect on your own experience to see which stage feels most familiar right now.